Hello, hello, hello there, everyone. Alex here with Lucksack Games, here with a vintage. So, I don't know much about vintage as a format still, so I totally understand if this is not exactly what we're looking for. That being said, we have a pretty good base blue control deck here with a combo finish. The combo finish is, of course, show and telling in one of our very, very big threats. Now our deck runs 3 Griselbrand, 3 Emrakul, and a Blightsteel. Now, where this differs from Legacy is you might be saying, why Blightsteel? Well, see, our deck also plays Tinker. Tinker allows you to find Blightsteel Colossus. So, since we have Tinker and all these artifacts that we play, including Darksteel Citadel, which also, Darksteel Citadel enables Mox Opal combos. Daze is a little bit of our combo protection along with Force of Will. Unfortunately, I have the Yu-Gi-Oh card Force of Wills. I didn't check when I was borrowing, unfortunately. Happens. In the sideboard, we are playing one of Chalice of the Void against, like, P.O. Storm. Oh, looks like we found our first match. Leylines against Dredge. Some Wish targets, as well as Arcane Laboratory against Storm. Let's go! Alright, we lost the die roll. Not exactly the best start. We are against Infant number 1. So, let's see how this goes. I believe that I've definitely seen Infant around, like, the Vintage Challenge. So, I believe this person definitely knows the format, whereas I definitely do not. So, I hope that I'm still able to give everyone a fun match. So let's see here. Let's see. What to do. This is a show and tell, but really nothing to put in. I think we can do better than this on 6. Our 6 is a single Mox Ruby, the best thing to show and tell in, and every bit of protection in the world if we get 2 lands. And then nothing to do once we show and tell it in. Let's mulligan to 5. Great start to how powerful this deck is. I'm going to go ahead and keep the Tinker side of this deck. I'm going to put back show and tell. And Mox Opal allows me to do that, so I guess we're going to do that. Alright. See what we can do here. So we can't quite turn on Mox Opal yet, but Mox Opal turns on Academy. Okay, let's see which lock piece this is. A Revoker, sure. Find out what Revoker's going to name. Dak Faden. That's very reasonable in the dark. Also, those might be cards we want in our deck. Dak Faden sounds amazing. Alright, so we're gonna... Mox Opal. Academy Recall ourselves, I guess. Draw 3. Alright. And let's see. Next turn we can set up Tinker into Blightsteel, and that should be pretty good, hopefully. Let's pass the turn to the opponent. Daze is not currently on, as we do not currently control an island, as the land we had to play was Tolarian Academy. So right now we look like a standard P.O. Storm list. Curious if they turn off the Soul Ring here. Sorry, Mox Opal, the one they know about. Sphere of Resistance. Spells cost 1 more. That seems fair. I mean, if you can't pay 2 for your spells, that's just, you know, come on. Alright, so we've been attacked for 2. Let's see what we can do now. Draw. Keep in mind, this Darksteel Citadel is also additional ramp for Tolarian Academy. So do we just do that? Maybe. So play this. This makes 3. Soul Ring costs 2 but makes 2, so that doesn't do much. Okay, so... Turning on the Opal doesn't help us any. I think I'm just going to pass the turn here. We can tap 3 mana for a Daze currently. And next turn we can tinker. Hopefully Blightsteel gets there. Let's see what they have. Unfortunately, they do have 5 mana, so whatever they play is likely to result. So, yep. Attacking us in here for 4, which is a pretty good swing. Second main, let's see what they cast. If it's a Golos, that would be pretty ideal for us. Oh, they can't, I guess, because of the Sphere of Resistance. Additional Sphere of Resistance. Okay. I guess we're just going to have to beat through these Sphere of Resistances, huh? Ooh, Sneak Attack's interesting. Sneak Attack is interesting. So Darksteel Citadel here. Currently costs 3 for this Soul Ring. We can make 5 and just cast this Tinker. Kinda like that. Tinker away this Mox Opal since it's not doing very much. And let's put Blightsteel Colossus into play. See if this guy's big enough to win the game. Mind you, the opponent, all it takes is 1 Ensnaring Bridge, and that ruins our fun. But it looks like the opponent is the more aggro shops version. Keep in mind, not knowing much about Vintage here, we are losing access to our academy, though. Can't destroy these, though. They are both indestructible. Not exactly why they're in the deck, but hey, you know, if you have. Arcbound Ravager. That's fine. That means that they can't kill me on this swing. They have to block with at least 2 toughness not to die. Because this thing, for some reason, has trample. And then we get to see what we do from there. If we draw the red Mox, I think we get to sneak in this Griselbrand. That costs 2, makes 2. This costs 3, makes 2. That's 2 to pick up off a Daze. Alright, so if I do this, I can cast Soul Ring. And then we can go to combat and attack for lethal, quote unquote, but they're probably going to have blocks of some sort. So, in addition to being trample, infect, and 11 power, this guy's also indestructible. So, even if there was some way they could make their guy an 11/11, we don't have to worry about tradesies. This is the most logical block to keep them from dying. If they sack 1, they die. Yep. Pick 9 infect opponent, and I'll pass the turn to you. You have 1 card in hand, and you have to kill me for, or my Blightsteel. Cool thing is if they kill Blightsteel, that we still get to keep playing. We have the Sneak Attack Griselbrand. An opponent does not quite know that that's what we're doing yet. Alright, we got game 1. Alright, so some sort of shop stack, prison-y deck. I guess that's why we have these Hurkyl's recalls in the boards. So I feel like they're more likely now to have this Mental Misstep feels kind of dead. It's them to have Ensnaring Bridge. But they keep in mind they can sack it to an Arcbound Ravager, so it's still very possible. I think these Dazes aren't incredibly. I could buy that. Especially with only 4 Volcanic Islands. I feel like that's probably should be a different card. This hand's a keep because it puts a Blightsteel into play on turn 2. Jet's gonna resolve. See what the opponent plays. Uh-oh. Workshop starts are their best starts. A Ratchet Bomb. That's fine. Sphere of Resistance is a little annoying, but that's fine as well. So the Ratchet Bomb, I assume, is because we look like PO. So we're hoping not to get wastelanded here, obviously, as our hand is 3 and 4 drops. So now we look like we're still passing with Force of Will. If we draw another land, we get to get this Soul Ring down. Oh, good. It looks like there's passing, so we get a chance to draw at another land. Yeah, we got there. Alright, so let's cast the Soul Ring out. And then pass the turn. So they can still Ratchet Bomb up to destroy the Soul Ring. I'm not too concerned about that, I don't think, though. Because we're still just 1 land away from, well, we get to Brainstorm, let's put it that way. If the opponent cracks the Ratchet Bomb on 1. Okay, they produced 4 mana, let's see what they're casting. Walking Ballista, maybe? Mox Pearl. Pays for itself. Still 4 floating. Are they about to cast a Paradoxical Outcome? I'm just kidding. Obviously not. Second Sphere of Resistance. That's fine. That was a little annoying. That means we draw, obviously, a bunch of lands. That's the start to a bunch of lands. Let's go ahead and pass to this turn. So our spells currently cost 2 more. So we're actually just looking to Brainstorm into a land. Opponent's probably a little surprised at the Fiery Islet. Probably the wrong call off fetches. But hey, is what it is. The opponent can't have effects during our end step because they only have an untapped Mox Pearl. Uh-oh, opponent has more spells. I'm not sure we can beat more spells. Alright, they're trying to reduce the cost of their artifacts. Is that something we care about? I mean, I think that's a 1 spell for turn, so let's go ahead and Brainstorm in response. Draw 3 and put 2 back. Okay, put those 2 back. I think we can set up a turn here where we get to sneak attack in. So we get to go to 6 mana, which means that we get to pay for their attacks anyways. So we're gonna Mana Crypt, pay 2. Volcanic Island, pass. And during upkeep recall them? Yeah, that feels correct. Because even if they want to put down another sphere, that doesn't really matter. We easily pay for sphere, and then we sneak attack in a Blightsteel Colossus. See what the opponent wants to do here. Yep. Foundry Inspector and a single one. Can only do one. Ooh, second Foundry Inspector. I lied, they get to pop one more down. That's pretty good for them. That's pretty good. I don't think you get to cast another spell now, opponent. So we're going to always yield to this, and we're an always heads kind of stream. So heads, did it hurt us? We lost the flip. Oh no. Alright, so let's red, 2, so that's 4, 5. No. If we sneak attack this in, that's not actually lethal. All it does is takes one of their guys off the board. I think I like making our Blightsteel Colossus permanent, so we can show and tell it. So let's see, show and tell takes this much. So we can preordain first. Okay, I'm down on that. So let's preordain. Black Lotus, huh? Well, while that would help with our mana problems, we don't really need that. Alright, let's cast this show and tell. What have you got, opponent? I bet show and tell is not the card they expected to go on the stack. So let's put in Blightsteel and pass to them. We're actually going to turn off our auto yield. Alright, opponent. Name Mana Crypt, I assume. So since we bottomed both the cards that weren't Emrakul, we can still draw Emrakul off the top as well. And then anytime we do that, the sneak attack will be lethal because the opponent won't be able to leave. Well, they'll be able to they'll be able to leave enough toughness to block Blightsteel, and then next turn they won't. Yeah. Opponent using Workshop. Oh god, third Inspector. That's pretty good for them. Pretty good for them. Now this Sphere of Resistance, we're kind of covered on the mana situation. Would you like to attack an opponent? We'll block. Alright. We're looking for an Emrakul here. Always heads. Heads never fails. Heads. We won the flip. What did we draw? Ancestral Recall. Don't mind if I do. Why can't I tap my Mana Crypt? Cancel. Oh, ha, duh. Mana Crypt. That's fair. So, recall ourselves. Paying a little extra. Ooh, another Hurkyl's recall, huh? Alright, so we can't play Mox Sapphire. We can't currently Hurkyl's recall because it costs 4. Alright, let's go to combat. Let's get in there with our 11 power creature. Rawr. Ideally, they block with Phyrexian Revoker. Darn, never lucky. Okay, we're gonna pass the turn. See what the opponent can do. Opponent 6, 7, 8 power in play, so even if we lose the crypt flip, we're not losing the game. Part of why we're not preordaining as well is we have the lethal threat in play. It's on our opponent currently to answer it. If they swing all out, obviously, yeah, we got there. Alright, we got there on the back of our show and tell. Cool. Kind of worked out the way we were looking for. Definitely very sad to have Daze in my deck. I might have foobarred that one. Just a skosh. But you know what? That's okay. We won our first match. Here with Vintage Show and Tell. Hope you all out there are enjoying the spice. If this is your first time tuning in, definitely hit that follow button. If you're watching this on YouTube in the future, hit that like button, hit that comment button, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any feedback on the stream, please let me know. I've upgraded my mic, so hopefully you have a better audio experience from me. I have heard the wait times in the Vintage League are a little bit long, so hopefully we're not waiting too many minutes between rounds. If you are watching this on YouTube in the future, I encourage you to just go ahead and take the skip ahead. Just pop ahead a few minutes. It's no big deal. If you see I'm in the middle of the game, roll back a few. Let's see. Who do we have in this league? So, players I've played against. I've played against I am actually level 1, but I played against him in the Legacy Challenge. I played against the Power 9 at the Vintage Challenge. That video's up on my YouTube. I love this person's name, but I've never played against them. Kauf, I believe, gave us a loss during the Vintage Challenge. Non-basic land. It's funny. Alright, let's take a look at the deck again. This deck's fun to look at, and especially think about why Daze is so bad. So why Daze is so bad is we literally have 4 islands in the deck. So it literally costs 2 mana. Every time. Every time. Every time. Should 100% not be in the deck. So, first change I'd recommend, if you're watching this in the future and are interested in playing the deck for yourself, is that shouldn't be in the deck. Don't put that in the deck. None of that. Alright? Sounds good. So, let's see here. Curious what we're going to go against next round. I know that Vintage is kind of notorious for repairing you against the same person. Excuse me. So hopefully that doesn't occur. For any of you wondering why last round I did not bring in this Abrade when they're obviously an artifact deck, I'm bringing in 4 Hurkyl's Recalls already, and I have these 2 Cunning Wishes, and I'd kind of like them to be able to snag an Abrade if it comes up. Alright, we found an opponent. Let's see what we're doing for round 2. We won the die roll. I'm keeping this because we have Recall. Literally, if this didn't have Recall, this is a snap mulligan. So we're going to Volk pass, upkeep Recall. It's a pretty standard play pattern. Likely get it forced. If not, sweet. Sweet. We're now a soul land away from putting a Griselbrand into play. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Not what the opponent's doing to us. Ball bomb don't matter. That's a tinker. Yep. Alright, you're gonna find this hilarious. Wanna know what beats Blightsteel Colossus? Lotus Citadel. Okay. I guess they couldn't cast the top card of their library. So we're going to Brainstorm here since there's a lot of draws that just kill our opponent. So let's go. Brainstorm. Ooh, Omniscience. So close. So that kills them next turn. So unfortunately a little mini Griselbrand's here. Alright, let's go ahead and pass to the turn. We've cleverly hidden the land on top of our deck. Feel like it's just Griselbrand. It's gonna leave them a little bit confused, but hopefully they can't combo kill us here. Yep. Mox Ruby, Island, Preordain. Preordain should allow them to set up. Gracie's in the room. She should be able to get you a drink, little man. Close the door, please, Alex. Kid checking in on me. What he really wanted was a drink, of course. See what he grabs. Top. Uh-oh. That's not good. So the unfortunate part here is we have to wait a minute while the opponent... I lied. We get to concede the game. Haha. Alright, so we had our opponent definitely got us there. Welcome to Vintage, right? Guess we want these Boseijus definitely over these Dazes that don't do anything. Chalice of the Void. And I feel like maybe even these Arcane Laboratories. I might do that over the Cunning Wishes. Or a Cunning Wish. Let's go. Would I like to play first? I would. This hand is a lot of stuff. It's mulligan. This hand is also a lot of stuff, but we're going to keep this one. Alright, we're going to put Emrakul back. So we're going to go Mox Ruby, Tolarian Academy, Black Lotus, Soul Ring, pay 1. We're gonna cast Sneak Attack. So use the blue from this, and then red. Play Sneak Attack, see if it resolves. Ideally this resolves. No! We got... Alright, that's fair. But I said it was... Yep, they got us. Alright, so we got Mind Break trapped. If we had done it on 2, we would have, unfortunately been good, but... Darn. Did I cast too many spells there? That's a question. So if I had made that my 3rd spell instead, because Black Lotus, Academy... And yeah, I could have played around Mind Break Trap there. We would like to play first. This one looks like a mulligan. This one looks like a mulligan to 5. Daze coming back to punish us. So we could have played around Mind Break Trap there. I'll have to remember cards like that exist in this format. We're going to keep this because I think this hand turn 1... Turn 2 Tinkers? We're going to keep this regardless. And putting 2 cards back, it's going to be probably those 2. And I think I'm actually just going to lead on the Darksteel Citadel, because that way if I... and Mox Opal. That way if I draw into another Darksteel Citadel, I can... tinker. If I played the Ancient Tomb, though, any land makes it where I can tinker. I'm trying to tinker you, opponent. What's your deck? Lotus Petal. That's restricted. What are you casting now? Oh, it's tanking. I believe... Oh, Lotus Petal's also a live draw currently. Faithless Looting. This could be a dredge deck of some sort? Reanimator, maybe? I'm at a loss. I've yet to play against a Faithless Looting deck. That's a Griselbrand. Alright, pretty spicy. Oh, looks like the opponent was all in on just getting the creature into the grave. So we need to draw into an artifact in order to turn on this Opal. Or a blue land. Any blue land. Let's see who draws into it first. Does the opponent draw the Mana Source for their Reanimate? Or do we draw the Mana Source for our Tinker? Unmask is going to take away Tinker. That's fine. Hope they don't also have the land. They do not. Alright, Preordain's a little ironic there with all these colorless lands coming back to bite us. Admittedly, all these colorless lands on a mull to 5. So. Alright, let's see what we get here. Land. To start something spicy, we need a Volcanic off the top, though. Or Force of Will. Force of Will would make me feel a lot better, too. That makes me feel terrified. There's no way they don't put Griselbrand into play this turn, right? And all the opponent's seen is that we're a Tinker deck. Okay, so the opponent's going to Demonic Consultation. Naming Entomb. Okay. The opponent has 3 cards left in their library. The card that they named was, let me see here, I believe I can bring it up here, show game log. Was name's Black Lotus. Okay. Well, Black Lotus. It's not like Griselbrand actually draws cards at this point, so I'm not that concerned about it. A little sad I don't have Cunning Wish here, because I'd be able to Surgical. That's going to resolve. I think the opponent also has a Thoughtseize or a Cabal Therapy here. Right, our turn. So I wish we had a way to bounce this Griselbrand. But, maybe we draw into Volcanic this turn. Alright, so I can Preordain this turn and potentially also Sneak Attack depending on what I draw. Alright, so this is pretty good. So we want to go top, top, and then pass. So what our plan is now is we're going to play this Darksteel Citadel. We're going to play Sneak Attack. We're going to activate it and Emrakul our opponent, which is going to wipe away their board. Go. Oh no, don't pay costs, opponent. I am fine with this. I don't know what the opponent could possibly be naming. Okay, taking away the known card. That makes sense. Opponent finding out we're a Sneak Attack deck. Yes, they did not flash it back to take away Sneak Attack. So we get to go Citadel, Float, Float, Red, Sneak Attack. Oh, they might have Force, I guess. Alright, they do not, so we get Sneak and Emrakul. Let's go, Emrakul is going to put them down to no permanents, and they only have 2 cards left in library. So they're at 25 life. They can draw and kill themselves if they would like. That is totally an option that I sometimes take. I don't think the opponent expected an Emrakul to be coming this turn, though. I wonder if they're also currently considering that, well, depending on what their hand is, if they can reanimate Griselbrand again. It was kind of far down. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at their deck. There's an Iona there. Mental Misstep. Unmask. Yeah, they're literally just Reanimator in Vintage, which is pretty hot. I'm actually going to snag a screenshot here real quick, because I was considering this as well. As any of my viewers know, we do this on our Legacy channel as well. So we have all these cards. And we're cutting these cards. And so these Griselbrands are not amazing. Chalice of the Void is pretty good on one. Pretty good on one. Emrakuls are fine because they shuffle in, but Griselbrands are a way big liability. Alright, anything else? I think I'm going to cut a sneak attack. Since I have Omniscience and Show and Tell as well. Yeah, that seems fine. Opponent having a million discard spells, not ideal, obviously, as they're very likely to not only reanimate a Griselbrand quickly, but also tear apart our hand afterwards. Still, we managed to get the first game. Let's see if we can keep that train rolling. Of note, hiding the Emrakul on top of our deck stopped them from flashing back the Cabal Therapy that turn. If they just saw a hand of... well, I guess then they'd have to assume we had the red card on top. Oh, let me hide game chat again. Boink, boink. Alright, well this hand has a Leyline of the Void, and a Show and Tell, and a Daze I forgot to cut, but for some reason it's still in here. Alright, let's put in a Leyline of the Void, see what the opponent does. Yeah, opponent has a fetch land. Okay. Opponent still might be thinking they can Thoughtseize threats out of our deck, but that's why we made the cuts we did. See, I also played Show and Tell in Legacy for 3 years, and against Reanimator, you cut your Griselbrands. Seems counterintuitive, but... Alright, they just main phase the Fragmentize, which is fine. They have access to their grave, and we have this Daze. And this Brainstorm. So we're going to go like this, and then if we don't have to cast this Daze, we're going to Brainstorm end of turn. And depending on what we manage to find, we might be able to put an Emrakul into play. Let's see what we can do. Dark Ritual. No. So actually we get to do both, right? So we float a blue, and then Daze this. Sweet. And then Brainstorm. See what we find off the Brainstorm. Recall and Tolarian Academy, huh? Omniscience, Show and Tell. There's not a way to do it next turn, I know this, so... Put it back like this. And then move to my turn. I guess the opponent could have a discard spell, but that's fine. Okay, so we play Academy this turn. Yep, and then we recall ourselves. Draw 3. See if this resolves. If we draw into a Lotus, we get to combo kill them this turn. It's pretty hot. Opponent is pausing here. We have currently... Oh, we should keep track of how many spells we've cast this turn. Emrakul may be uncounterable, but he's not Mindbreak trappable. This is 1. Show and Tell would be 2, Emrakul would be 3, and Black Lotus would be 4. So, no go on the if we draw into it this turn. Mindbreak trap one hand. Ooh, Time Walk. Sweet. Alright, I'll just pass through our turn. See what the opponent has. So do we play the Time Walk? Thing is, if they get a Griselbrand in play, our hand is probably toast. Looks like they're also choosing to pass here. Alright, so that's pretty sweet. Does sneak attack make us want to do this differently? Maybe? Because there's not a line where I get to... Oh, there is a line. Okay. So what I do is I time walk this turn. And then we have a dozen draws that get us into a good position for next turn. And if not, hey, you know, that's fine too. Opponent paying costs. Cast an Entomb. Yeah, it's going to resolve, opponent. We have nothing to stop you from entombing. The Leyline of the Void's in our hand, but that we wanted the surgical at this point. So draw. Daze. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and commit this. There's no way around it, right? We just have to show and tell. Yeah, let's do it. Let's hope that it's nothing with the triggered ability. Please be nothing with the triggered ability. What if the opponent's surprised to see show and tell in addition to sneak attack? Then you get a free permanent. And it could be anything. A boat, a Griselbrand, and Snaring Bridge. Let's hope it's not the last thing I said, right? Alright, so let's see here. Show and tell's on the stack, opponent. This is so exciting. I think we might win a second match. Of course, the opponent could put in something absolutely insane, like, well, I guess even if they put in like a Serenity, that doesn't matter, because we just cast our Emrakul at this point. It's a little unfortunate we didn't draw into literally any other artifact except Mox Opal. To be able to put in sneak attack and just cast sneak attack, not put it in with show and tell, and then take away all our opponent's permanents. That seems like it would be ideal. Alright, so we're currently waiting on the opponent to read show and tell, which is fair. This is a legacy card, not a vintage card, to the best of my knowledge. If there's any vintage aficionados out there that are familiar with this card, let me know. So they put in a Griselbrand. We're going to go ahead and cast our Emrakul and take our extra turn and wipe their board. Woohoo. So it looks like that was the correct line, and it looks like we're going to be able to get there. Alright, let's attack and wipe their board. That puts them to 4 life as well. It does put a Griselbrand in their grave, which for them is pretty ideal. Did a quick check to make sure that I could not have cast this Leyline of the Void before I attacked. Opponent draws 7 cards, which is totally fine. We're taking away their land, so only Force. No, Force doesn't even stop us because we'll have access to this Daze. So even if the opponent goes to cast a spell here, we're going to Daze it. We don't have to pick up a land. Omniscience says that you may cast things for free. For those of you that don't know, this card right here is my favorite. Oh, this one right here. My favorite card in Magic. Like, legitimately, my favorite card in Magic. I started playing at Return to Ravnica when that card was in Standard, and there was a deck that I played in Standard that was an unexpected results deck that attempted to cheat that into play, and let me tell you, deck was fun. Card was amazing. Had me hooked. Had Griselbrand in the format and Omniscience. Basically playing my old standard deck in Vintage. Oh wow, we found a relatively fast match. Alright, here for round 4. Let's see what we're against. Hopefully none of these people. Vintage Master. Alright, well, this guy sounds like he's pretty good. Alright, we're gonna keep this. We still need a payoff. But I think this is pretty good. So we're just gonna go Fiery Islet Soul Ring Pass. Are we even gonna do that? I think we're passing our first turn. Playing the land exposes it to Wasteland. Mana Crypt taps for 2 and doesn't cost anything. We can play it for free and still get to 3 mana for this show and tell into Omniscience. So all we need from that point is to find out if the opponent's going to put in something bigger than us. Opponent's just happy to be able to play Deathrite Shaman again. That's fine. If the opponent has any other plays this turn, or is it just Deathrite? I'm used to yielding, but in the format of Moxin, that's usually probably not a great idea. Emrakul or Griselbrand, please. Emrakul or Griselbrand? I will take a ponder. Alright, let's go looking. So how this works is we're going to go Fiery Islet, Mana Crypt, Mana Crypt, Soul Ring. That's 1, 2, and then the third spell will be the Show and Tell. So they think this is a PO, it's a Show and Tell. Curious if the opponent forces. If they do, we'll force back, pitching this Hurkyl's Recall, which is basically just a blue card against them. It would also be ramp against us, and we can technically pick up our Mana Crypt, so we don't have to take 3 damage. I'm going to put in an Omniscience opponent. Does not look like the opponent had counter magic, or they probably would have tried to answer that. So let's go ahead and cast this Ponder. Cunning Wish is pretty good. Alright, we're going to go ahead and take that one. Shuffle? No, we would not like to shuffle. We'd like to cast our Cunning Wish now. Here's the opponent. Alright, so Cunning Wish, yes. We don't have quite the combo finish that the Legacy version does. But if the opponent's familiar with the Legacy version, they'll feel that this is the combo finish. Alright, so we'll take a Cunning Wish, a Daze, and an Ancestral Recall. Ancestral Recall targeting ourselves. Draw 3. Tinker, huh? Tinker's good enough, right? Yep. It's a little unfortunate we have to show another win condition, but let's go ahead and cast this Cunning Wish. Yep. I say we Abrade Deathrite Shaman in order to cut down outs. Like that a lot. Kill that. Cast this 0-drop with Omniscience. Alright, let's go ahead and Tinker. Cast with Omniscience, sack the Mana Crypt so it doesn't kill us. And we'll grab Blightsteel Colossus. I think that's enough for 1 turn out of us. So the opponent has to answer our 11 power Trampling Infector. And we have Daze plus Force of Will to try and answer whatever they do. I'm guessing it has to be like a Liliana down tick or a Diabolic Edict, maybe? Let's see what they have. Keep in mind, even though we don't have an island in play, this Daze is free. Gush. Gush. Gosh. Let's go ahead and not let them draw 2 extra cards. That seems bad for us. But for the record, we can pay for Daze. We have it right here. Goofy, huh? Alright, Goofy's fine. He's a big goof, but he's a chump blocking goof. So, let's see what we draw here. If we draw Emrakul, the game is over. Mox Sapphire is not quite it, Chief. But you know what? Fiery Islet showing why it's in the deck as it cycles to draw us a card. Into Emrakul. Into Big Mama Emrakul. God, this deck is just... I have so much fun playing these decks for all of you. I hope that you enjoy this as much. At first I thought the opponent was some sort of Storm deck, which had me in on these Arcane Labs. But now that I see that they're a Tarmogoyf deck, I am feeling like our matchup might just be pretty decent against them. So we're going to bring in these Boseijus over these Dazes. Even though those Dazes were in our hand, they weren't that great. And we'll try it like that. So Firemind's Foresight being able to grab Ancestral Recall as the 1-drop, significantly better than the Legacy version where you grab Brainstorm as the 1. So... opponent didn't even see the sneak attack half of our deck. They saw the show and tell half of our deck. Curious if they'll have Ensnaring Bridge. We're not dead to it. We have 2 Cunning Wish. We have... is this turn 1? No. Is it turn 2, though? So many Wastelands. You know... I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep this. See what the opponent does on 1. They can Thought Seize us. In fact, that looks like to be what they're doing. Nope. Mox Jet. And a pass. Alright. Well then. Ooh, Force of Will was a reasonable draw. So we're going to play this, and then have hardcast Daze and pass the turn. We're going to turn off auto yields just in case they try to, like, Assassin's Trophy our Academy. Although I don't even know if that's so bad. You know what I mean? Like, we do have to draw another artifact for it to be more than a fancy named island. Okay, opponent has a 3-drop here, it looks like. Is it Leovold? Narset. Narset, we're going to say no to. No set. No set. No set. Dazing with no islands in play, opponent. Your move now. Force of Willing. I mean, I'm also willing to fight over a Narset. See what they pitched with that Force of Will. Second Force of Will. Any land. Any land. Alright, this gives us a ton of draws still. Black Lotus. Ancient Tomb. Ancient Tomb does it. So we're going to put this and this back, place Ancient Tomb, and cast Show and Tell. And put in Emrakul. Yep. See what the opponent puts in. Looted Delta. Alright. Hopefully that Jace is not their last card. If Jace was their last card, that would be such bad beats. Alright, opponent. Is your last card Jace the Mind Sculptor? It is not. We won the match. All right. Somehow we're 3-1 with Vintage Show and Tell. With Dazes that I would not put in this deck again, for the record. Definitely going to have to hammer this one out and fine-tune the details, because it looks like there might be something here. This is exciting. I love the Show and Tell archetype. And for it to not be doing terribly is super exciting for me. So what does this hand do besides have 2 Dazes in it that don't do anything? Yeah, if one of these Dazes had been another artifact, this would have been a Snap Keep, not named up Mox Opal, obviously. Since it's not, I think we can take a mulligan. This hand seems fine. Yeah, it seems fine. On the Citadel, I guess. Okay, see what the opponent's playing. We have Force of Will up if they happen to be trying to kill us on 1. And if they're not killing us on 1, then... Ooh, Strip Mine. Alright, well, our first land will not last that long, is what our opponent is letting us know ahead of time. Griselbrand. Alright, that's a good find. So... Cast this. Cast Brainstorm. Probably lock ourselves, but hopefully find the pieces we need. Not the pieces we need. So... Put both those back on top. Then pass the turn. The good news is we get to concede this game to hide information. If it comes to that. Cavern of Souls, naming Spirit. Alright, I can dig what the opponent's doing. This, you know what? My exploration into Vintage has been fun. Should I have forced that? Maybe. So that'll just pay for itself for now. Yep. And then draw. It's a dead card. And we'll pass turn. We can just leave this Mox Sapphire paying for itself for a minute. Because currently, if we draw a Black Lotus off the top, we kill our opponent. It won't be next... Oh, no. Not Caracas. Alright, Caracas is one we're a little scared of, so we probably won't be blind show and telling anymore. Okay, we'll pay the 1. Take the draw step. It's Emrakul. Yield through this turn. Discard a Daze. You'll expect the Daze to be discarded as well. Because there's no reason to keep Daze in hand when you have no lands. So if the opponent taps down Caracas here, we're taking... And we draw Black Lotus. So this is by no means a for sure line. Lavinia. I control 0 lands. Alright, I'm going to take a draw step at controlling another land, and then I get to concede the game. So our opponent appears to be on like Blue-White Legends, which is kind of spicy. So we're going to say yes to this. We're going to take a draw step, and when it's not Black Lotus... Oh, when it's Black Lotus, we concede the game anyways. Alright, so... Darksteel Citadel kind of being the counter to Strip Mine, but not the counter to Kataki. So we're going to go ahead and concede now. Abrade? I feel like we want Abrade. I don't feel like we want Hurkyl's Recalls, though. Like, literally, I feel like we want this one Abrade. But I want to cut more Dazes. Maybe I bring in Chalice to the Void so I can play it on 0. I don't think they're a deck that cares about that. And they cast their spells through Chalice to the Void? Ugh. Matchup does not seem good for us. Alright, let's try it. Would you like to play first? I would. Black Lotus, Show and Tell, Griselbrand, Force of Will. I mean, these are the hands we signed up to keep when we registered this deck. So, Black Lotus with Force backup, no Daze, so Black Lotus. Cast Show and Tell. Hopefully, they just don't have Crocus. If they do, we draw 14 cards. If they don't, we win the game. Alright, so this is them forcing. This is us forcing back. Hopefully they don't also have double force. Doesn't look like it. Let's put in Griselbrand. Alright, that's fine. Let's put a land into play. Let's draw 7 cards. I think this is fine. We can pass through the turn and then we'll discard the Griselbrand. And then we'll try to beat them to death with the 7/7. I don't think the opponent was prepared for this. So we're hoping to draw land. Good news is we have a lot of draw steps at it. Mental Misstep means that I'm hitting for 7 immediately here. Playing lands. Let's go to combat. And attack. Yep. Deal 7, gain a bunch. Second main. I think we just time walk. Take another turn. If the opponent is okay with that. Alright, we won game 2. Exciting. Yay. Unlikely it goes that well for us game 3. That game, we had the Black Lotus finally, and it went smashing for us. But that Lavinia is going to cause us trouble. I don't think, see, because of how we very carefully played that game 1 and gave very limited information, we put ourselves in a position where the opponent, I'm sure, thought we were PO. And because they put us on paradoxical outcome, their sideboarding changes changed depending on, well, they put their Caracas back in the deck. Let's put it that way. There's a good chance that they may have sideboarded out some number, and they won't be doing that anymore. As much as I want to take out these Omniscience too because of Lavinia, I don't think we can. Like, I think we're just priced into keeping her around. See what we do here for game 3. See if we can run this Vintage League into a 4-1 finish. 4-1. Pretty good finish. Let's see what we can do. Alright, so the opponent's going to be on the play. And we have a lot of the wrong half there. This I'm probably willing to keep. Yep. And bottom Daze. Alright, let's see what the opponent has. Hopefully no Lavinia, hopefully no Fast Thalia, something like that. Oh. So opponent does get to Once Upon a Time. I don't think I would have forced Once Upon a Time anyways. Okay. We did also put Daze back, although it was a counterspell we could have held up on too by going Fiery Islet, Mox Sapphire. I think I like going Fiery Islet, Mox Sapphire, main phase Brainstorm though. And here's why. Okay, so this is great. I'm going to put back Volcanic Island, Sneak Attack. Yes. And then play out a Soul Ring. And then we'll pass to the turn. The Sneak Attack should be the top card of our library. Alright, draws 3 cards very sneakily. And that's fine. Not too worried about the draw 3 or worried about the fight over Lavinia here. Maybe there just won't be a fight. Yeah, green. Land. Opponent's just passing. Alright, well this is Hardcast Force of Negation up too. So let's see what they have here. We're gonna draw. Sneak attack. So I'm gonna cast a Show and Tell. And my plan is to put in Sneak Attack, and then if they put a triggered ability on the stack, we're going to answer it. If they counter this, that's fine. So they put in Containment Priest, so what that means is we're no longer putting in Sneak Attack, we are now putting in Omniscience. See what the opponent does. Omniscience, please. I wonder if us holding up the red there was the tell for them. Cast with Omniscience are Emrakul. Yeah! Wiping our opponent's board. Alright, I think we won this one. Does that mean we ended this Vintage League 4-1? Yeah, we no longer need lands, opponent. This Emrakul is a permanent Emrakul. This one's not sneak attacked in. And we are casting this one, so this one will enter the battlefield. Even with a Containment Priest on the opponent's side of the field. Alright. Let's yield through this turn. We don't need to do anything else this turn. Let's turn off auto yields. I have this Force of Will up, and there's no reason to get blown out by something ridiculous. 4-1 with Vintage Show and Tell. I am so excited. Thank you so much for tuning in. Alex here with Lucksack Games, reminding you to smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more crazy decks like this. And leave a comment down below if you thought this was as insane as I did. Alex here with Lucksack Games, reminding you to have an awesome day.